Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report presented by Pepsi. We're still joined by head football coach Shane Richardson. Coach, through 3 games this year, your Code Black defense has allowed just more than 76 rushing yards per game, including just 38 yards rushing on 32 carries against Shaw. What makes this defense so effective against the run, and is stopping the run the base of your defensive game plan every week?
Well, I think what makes us effective is just being very sound in our gap responsibility. And we try to keep it as simple as possible up front while utilizing some of the speed and quickness that we do have from the front 7 guys to be able to maybe work some movements in there to try to create problems for the offense. Right. But with that, we try to really focus on rallying to the ball and getting guys there so that, if one guy does hit him, we want to make sure that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other guys are right there so there's no extra yardage. And so we really try to emphasize that in practice. Stopping the run is a key element for our defense and for our team as a whole, because if you create an opportunity for the offense to have to throw the ball, you make them one-dimensional, and now you can really try to get after it and force them into situations that maybe they aren't as comfortable in.
What are some of the lessons you took from Saturday's loss against Shaw?
Sure. I think number one, what comes to mind is we need to be able to play 4 quarters, and that's why there is 4 quarters in a game, because you need to play every single play, your best. And so we did not do that for a complete game on Saturday. And so that's the number one lesson that I look at and say, we've got to be able to finish. And that starts with every player that's on the field, one play at a time. They've got to be able to play their best, their fastest, from snap to whistle. And then we've got to be able to put that together for all 4 quarters throughout the entire game, because credit Shaw, they did a fantastic job of taking advantage of the momentum swing and really executing some big plays down the stretch. When we went back and watched film, they did some things that were extremely difficult, and you would look at it and say, wow, how did they complete that pass, or how are they in position there, because they weren't in position the first half, on that play. But credit them, but it gave them time to be able to know, hey, there's still life. And that's why it's a 4-quarter game, and I think that's a big emphasis of what we will take out of this one.
Now, with the lessons that you learned from Saturday, what are some of the, I know you'd like a few more days in your practice preparation for the next game, but what are some of the things, 1 or 2 things that are at the top of your list to work on in practice
Sure.
this week?
Going along with what we just talked about, I think there's an element of, we've been talking about the momentum shift, but there's an element of mentality and morale that really needs to be built up and energized and felt on the sideline. And the guys that are out there, they need to be able to feel the 40 to 50 to 60 guys that are standing on the sidelines supporting them and really being behind them and being an energizer for them. And I felt like maybe we didn't do that as much as we could have in the second half. And we've got to make sure that every guy is enthusiastic and energized and excited for their teammates' opportunity out on that field to get them going and to really push them through some of the tough times. So that'll be an emphasis. I think another emphasis will be to just stay the course. And we don't need to deviate a whole lot from where we're going and who we are and what we stand for. And just because we go through a difficult time like this doesn't mean that we abandon ship and we try to come up with something brand new and think that this doesn't work. We just need a few more guys to really buy in and understand what we're trying to do and rid the negativity and try to just go down a positive road of really overcoming the adverse situation and knowing that we have improved from week to week and we're in a great place. It's just that with a loss, you're extremely disappointed because you can't see really the things that are taking place on the field. But we're in a great place, and we feel like we're continually moving forward, and we just got to make sure that guys are believing that.
Well, UNCP will turn its attention to a tough Wingate team this week. 1:30 p.m. kickoff at Irwin Belk Stadium in Wingate on Saturday. You probably had some limited looks at the Bulldogs on film so far, but give us a quick scouting report on what fans can expect to see from the Bulldogs on Saturday.
Well, the game between UNCP and Wingate has turned into a nice rivalry, I think, and we have played them every single year since the inception of the program, and so they have done a fantastic job of preparing for us every year, and I would like to think that likewise we are always up for this game against them as well. They're very well coached. They're going to be very balanced on offense. Typically they've liked to throw it around a little bit, but from year to year they do change, and so I think they do have a little bit more of a running game established this year. But they're going to be gritty on defense, and they're going to try to attack you, and they're very physical, and they will present some challenges for us indeed. But I expect it to be a very physical game, a competitive game, and it's been a great history between the two, and I'm looking forward to going up there and playing our best.
Well, we're going to take our next commercial break. Coach, thanks for being on the show this week. When we come back, we'll be joined by cross-country head coach Dr. Peter Ormsby, so stay tuned.